What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Today we have got 8 FUT Champs games for you, games 3 up to game number 10. Playing some good FIFA there, I'll talk about that a bit more at the end of the video. I want to get into some comments for this video, but guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for being on my journey on YouTube with me, and if you are here and you have the capability to do so, let's drop a thumbs up on the video and hopefully we can smash 3,000 to 4,000 likes for this video. I would appreciate that. Comments, guys. First thing I want to talk about is the Barcelona event, the FUT Champs regionals, the what's it called, the E World Cup, the FIFA E World Cup. Jack Shepherd says, do you think that EA further made a mockery of themselves with how they did the Barcelona event? It was terribly done in nearly all aspects. Would also love to see you commentate. It seems like the people that do it now have been brainwashed by EA. Never mentioned anything bad with the game and try to avoid things like kickoff boos and EA's. Love your content and keep up the work. So let's break that down. First of all, do you think that EA have further made a mockery of themselves with how they did the Barcelona event? I'll say this, right? Last year they had a lot of errors with the way that they run the events, and it was understandable because it was the first year for them. They diving in the deep end. It was inevitable that they were going to make some errors, right? This year, you would have expected the event to be top class from start to finish. Of course, there is margin for error. You have to expect in a live broadcast there are going to be mistakes here and there. But the mistakes that EA have been making have been absolute elementary mistakes that just shouldn't happen. Not turning the commentators' mics off during ad breaks. Playing audio from games way too loud for the commentary itself. Having the players themselves have to discard consumables to be able to build their teams properly. Not giving them position modifiers. Running ads over gameplay whilst commentators are just talking. They were like starting it late anyway, not following through with the schedule. One of the biggest things for me is as well is that first and foremost, you can't even track who your favorite players. You might have a friend that's just made it to regionals. You can't even see how he's doing. You have to hope that he tweets about it or that somebody else has got the information. Unfortunately enough, FUTWiz have got all the information. That's where I've been tracking my information. But EA don't have a score center of any degree, and I find that quite remarkable. But I'm also quite ashamed of EA here because this has been nothing more than a marketing project. All this seems to be for me is how much can EA market prime icons, packs, and marketing EA as a brand. And I mean that in the sense that the only people that they've showed and commentated over throughout this whole event are people that have big social media followings. They have not showcased any of the new guys, none of the little guys. Instead of showcasing a game of 2 newbies into the scene, they will show a replay of a game that they just commentated over. And it's horrendous because they'd rather have, you know, huge gorilla on their screen, even if it's the second time you're watching the same game, than some guy that you've probably never heard of, because it's better for their brand. And that, for me, that's just, I'm just so ashamed that they're using this as a marketing ploy first, not second, third or fourth. Obviously they're here to market themselves. They want to be part of the esports scene. They want to be a big player in the esports scene. But this event this weekend has shown to me personally that they're more interested in making money than producing a good show. And I'm sure that there are some anomalies and outliers to that. I'm sure there are some people that care a whole deal about the show itself, about the players. I'm sure there are people that might have even said, like, why don't we try, you know, showing some of the smaller guys that have just got into the scene and stuff. And I'm sure there are people that have a bigger say, that have a no, that are saying, no, we want to show the guy that's going to get us the most views. They're cutting in and out of games like nothing as well. Like, you're literally being like the 60th minute of a really fun game that you're watching, and then they'll cut to like the 85th minute of a game that doesn't actually mean anything because both players have already won 4 games or have already lost 4 games, or, you know, the aggregate score is so vast that the game is just irrelevant, because what they want to do is they want to cut to a more popular player that's playing. And it's, I've sat there, I've watched every minute of both days up so far. Like, I've got it on now as well. Hashtag Aggie has just in a 90th minute beaten Oguzan to go 4-3 through to the last 32. But I've watched it all, guys, and there was a few people that I wanted to watch there this weekend. Most notably, I really wanted to watch Lewis's gameplay and how he did, and I really wanted to watch XL Shane's gameplay and how he did, because I've actually formed a good relationship with those dudes over the last year or so, and I consider them more than acquaintances. So I was really intrigued and interested as to how they would be doing. And neither of them got any airtime at all. Nothing. You didn't see them. They didn't get talked about. They didn't get mentioned. To find their results, it goes through all the 128 players one at a time down the right hand side. So to see how they're doing, you have to just hope that you was looking at the screen for the 8 seconds that they were on the screen. And it's just stupid. Like, I don't like, it's a bad broadcast. It is a bad broadcast. There's so many mistakes, and even the pro players themselves were getting so frustrated with this event. I've seen so many complaints from pro players regarding this event. It's a bit of an issue. Next, you says it's terribly done in nearly all aspects. Would also love to see you commentate. I would love to commentate. I doubt I'll ever get asked. First and foremost, because of my coin promotion back in FIFA 15 and prior. Second of all, because of my FUT Galaxy issues, FIFA 16 and prior. And third and foremost, because of videos like this, where I openly talk negatively about them, I'm not someone that they want. I would love to do it. I would love to give it a shot. I think I'd be a good commentator. I think I'd definitely be able to bring something to the table. I think it's unfair to talk badly about the guys that are at the desk, though. I think they're doing a good job, especially given what they have to work with. There's a couple of dudes that really excel out there as commentators as well. I think the broadcast team themselves, there have been some mistakes here and there, but again, these guys are new to the scene. I know they did it last year and such, but I think they did an okay job personally. Last but not least, yeah, you said love your content, keep up the good work, and I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Cormac Burke says, hey Nep, if I get Silver 2 this week, do I auto qualify for next week? No. The auto qualification from Silver 2 begins the first week in February. So this week doesn't count. You have to get 18 wins to auto qualify this week. But from next weekend league, 11 wins is sufficient to auto qualify. Frank R says, hey Nepo, sorry if I'm not remembering this correctly, but I believe last year that someone disproved the chemistry scenario. It was actually FIFA 16, not last year, but I get what you're saying. Because he understood a way to test the dribbling stat and recognized that chemistry on special cards was irrelevant. Why can't someone do that test and test out chem styles on this FIFA? Sorry if I'm missing something obvious. Anyway, keep up the good work. They have, and they work. So they work exactly as EA say they should work, and that has been done by test through dribbling, through the way the stepovers work. So, or actually, it might have been celebrations this year, because if you have a certain level of agility, when you do one celebration, you will do a flip, and when you do it without that agility, you won't do the flip. So it's been tried and tested, and chem styles work. King Leo says, hey Lep, how come we always see Jesus and never Aguero, even though Aguero has a better card? I understand that Jesus is cheaper, but coins are relatively easy to generate this year. Thanks. I think the reason being is because the price difference between Jesus and Aguero is so big, yet the actual output that you get from the two players is really small. So if it were me, let's say I had Jesus and Moussa Dembele in my team, and then I generated enough coins to buy Aguero, I would much rather upgrade Dembele first, because Jesus is still an absolute machine anyway. So I think that's why you see Aguero less and less, because just for the number of coins he costs, there are just better alternatives in teams. He'd be like kind of the last guy that you would go and upgrade. AQZ Kick says, hey Nep, love the vids. Keep up the hard work, man. Now that Team of the Year players are out of packs, does that mean the players that have dropped in price on the market crash will rise back up again? For example, Griezmann on PS4 dropped to about 150k, now about 160k. I actually think you'll probably find that Griezmann dropped even lower than that. Last Saturday, player prices were at an all-time low. Griezmann right now is 160 on PlayStation. He dropped on the Saturday as low as 140,000 coins, so 20k. But generally speaking, Saturday was the buy day. Saturday last week, so a week ago today, was the day that you should have purchased players. They were at the absolute rock bottom, and they've only gone up since then. There are, of course, some anomalies, some outliers, but generally speaking, they've only gone up since then. Even the Team of the Year cards that I had bought highly, lost a lot on, and they've recovered intensely too. De Bruyne is back over 2 million, so we didn't lose that much on him, and we haven't even sold him anyway. Modric is back up to 1.3 million. Okay, I bought him at 1.8, but he dropped down to as low as 1.1, so we've recovered a lot of losses on him. Dani Alves is back up over 500k. Marcelo is back towards 1 million coins. So if I would have waited till Saturday, I could have bought the 4 Team of the Years that I did buy, and I could have bought the informed Neymar, and I could have bought Team of the Year Sergio Ramos. So I missed out on that. As it happens, I recovered a lot of the losses between now and then because the market is coming up. And it's of my opinion as well that the market will continue to rise on the Team of the Year players because now they're out of packs. As another comment suggested, it's easy to get coins now. So when somebody wants to put that Team of the Year Marcelo in their squad, he's so good that he'll be in the squad for the rest of the game. So every time a Team of the Year player gets bought by somebody that wants to use them, that's just one off the market that's gone. And so the supply will dry up of these Team of the Year cards, which will increase their price and value. So hopefully I can generate a lot more coins back by the time Team of the Season comes from those. Babua Manga says, haven't you thought about the stats as percentage? I mean, if somebody has 99 finishing, he is going to finish 99% of the chances from inside the box. Same with passing stats and defensive stats. Only thing where I'm not sure how to appreciate the theory is with physical and pace stats. I mean, your logic is just flawed anyway, because if you have 99 finishing, it's fair to say then that you will score 99% of your goals if there is no defenders, no goalkeeper, no pressure, good angle. Like, when you take a shot with 99 finishing in the box, you have to contend with defenders trying to tackle you, you have to contend with a goalkeeper. So the way I see it is that your 99 finishing goes into a pot along with all the other stats that have an importance. They all go into a pot. The defenders' defending and tackling stats go into a pot, and the goalkeeper saving stats go into a pot, and then it rolls it, a little bit of RNG, and it throws out a does he score, yes or no. That's how, like, and the greater your stats versus your opponent's stats, the greater the chance of yes you score comes in. So to debate your point, let's say you have David De Gea Team of the Year, 97 rated, high 90s in all stats. Let's say you take Mbappe with 90 finishing. Should he never score against David De Gea because he has higher goalkeeping stats? So it's less a percentage chance and more a RNG modifier. That's how I would describe it personally. Almo Minotaur, what a great name, says, is it better to have more shot power and less long shots to score long shots, or is it better to have more long shots and less shot power to score long shots? Same goes for headers. Just to answer the first question, because this is the last game now, so is it better to have more shot power and less long shots to score long shots? Well, shot power is largely irrelevant to a degree. It's actually one of those stats that isn't important. And the reason being is because you get to control the power with the power bar. So when you play a lot with a player, you will get a feel for how their shots are in terms of power. So you'll just understand how much power. You know, if I have, say, Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't have to power the shoot bar up as much because he has high shot power. So he's going to shoot the ball hard anyway. If I have, say, a midfielder, I might need to put 3 bars of power on because I know I need to give the ball more power because he has low shot power. So you can influence the power of the shot through the shot power without the stat really being too important. So I would say it's far more important to have high long shots ability to score from outside the box, because if you have a midfielder with 99 long shots and 70 shot power, you just put a lot of power on it and you'll have a good, accurate, powerful shot. And if you have a guy with 99 long shots and 90 shot power, you just don't put as much power on it. Or you put the same amount of power on it and it just goes even faster. Shot power is exactly that. It's just the power of the shot multiplied by the power that you put onto the shot. I don't know exactly how the factors work or anything, but that's the long and the short of it. I did have a few other comments there that I'm going to have to miss out on because once again we've run out of time because I talk way too much. But thank you guys for watching this video. We end up finishing 9 wins and 1 loss after our first 10 games, which I'm super happy about. I came up against some interesting teams here. Not the only game I lost to was a guy that had a really good team. I lost that 2-1 to an unfortunate deflected goal or rebound goal in a game that I generally controlled, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy with 9 and 1. I played some really good FIFA here, but this is, guys, is going to be the end of the gameplay. Let's go live. All right, guys, so 10 FUT Champs games down, 9 wins, 1 loss. Very happy with the way I'm playing right now. The 4-2-3-1, which I've started switching into, has made a world of difference. I was told by a few people, give the 4-2-3-1 a full weekend league. Not that I'll get through my 40 games here this weekend. The final time that we won't. From February going forwards, I'm just going to force them out again if I have to. But I think I'm enjoying playing the game so much right now because I'm playing casually, and that's showing through my results. You know, the last few weekend leagues that we've not played all our games, we finished 18-2. 18-3. Last weekend we actually finished 18-6. But generally speaking, we're playing really, really good. So the 4-2-3-1, as I say, I tried it. I got used to it through the week, playing through divisions. And now we go into it with this team and it plays fantastic. Rafael is great. I know it only shows he's got 6 goals and 4 assists in 12 games, but bear in mind, he's only played, I think, 6 games as a starter, maybe 7 games as a starter, and then 4, 5 or 6 games as a sub. So he's actually, and I think he only had like 1 or 2 goal contributions out of that. So he's done really well in the games that he's played. He's my central cam, and he's lasered a few goals in the back of the net. He's played good. His biggest problem is his stamina is a bit of an issue. So he gets subbed off during the game. The team looks like this at the moment. To start with, in-game, it looks like... it looks like he goes in there, he goes in there, and then he goes in there. So it looks a little something like this to start with. Rui Costa is my outside cam, Rafael is my inside cam, and De Bruyne is my other outside cam. Gabriel Jesus up front, Luka Modric in at CDM. He's playing, he gives me a good dynamic there. I know it goes against what I said with the medium-high work rates, but I set him to stay back while attacking, and he's doing well. And you can see, I've played Luka Modric as an inside cam, an outside cam, a centre mid, and a central defensive midfielder. So 4 random positions throughout the centre of the park. And in his 61 games, he has 43 goals and 30 assists. That's an incredible return, given the fact that he's been bounced around the field every which way possible. A really good return. Rafael's doing well. Fernandinho does good for me. I'm so glad I listened to you guys and picked up Thiago Silva. What's his agility? Yeah, high agility, high reactions. I can feel him in, like, it's nipping in front of attackers and grabbing the ball, getting into positions defensively, like, rapidly, like super fast. I can feel Thiago Silva being an absolute monster. I've got 2 short centre backs. I wondered how it would affect me defensively. It hasn't. I also thoroughly enjoy this Fernandes card. I saw a lot of people, a few like people saying on Twitter and Reddit and stuff that Fernandes not good. I love this card. How much is it? He's worth over 100k now as well, so I may profit on him too. But this Fernandes card, for me personally, is magnificent, and I only have an anchor on him. I don't even have a shadow on him, which is nice. So altogether, this defense is now solid as. I'm really enjoying it. The 2 CDMs, I'm really enjoying. I'm still game to upgrade Fernandinho in due course, but for the time being, in the meantime, I'm more than happy to use Fernandinho. He's doing nothing wrong. I wouldn't mind fitting Gustavo in there. I don't know if I can I fit Gustavo in there how I start? I probably can, actually. So Gustavo could go in there. I'd have to link the icon to De Bruyne with Jesus, but that wouldn't be too much of a problem. Rafael's good. And then look at the stats of these 2 guys up top. Gabriel Jesus, 54 goals and 52 assists in 61 games as my striker. That's outrageous. 106 goal contributions from 61 games. So remember when I said to you guys, you know, people a few episodes ago, people said that this team is worse than teams that I've had. It's just not, because you get the same output, which is crazy. But you get the same output from a Gabriel Jesus as you do with a Cristiano Ronaldo or a Thierry Henry. Haven't scored as many goals as I did with Ronaldo or Henry, but they included squad battles, whereas Jesus doesn't. They were as dual strikers, whereas Jesus is a solo striker. And they had nowhere near as many assists as I've got with Jesus. So all in all, a strong player up front. And then this is, I'd say this is my favourite player in the game right now. Kevin De Bruyne is just unreal. 61 games, 60 goals and 33 assists as a cam slash striker for a few games slash midfielder. To get 60 goals in 61 games and 33 assists, this team is just amazing. I want to change Rui Costa. I want to change him real soon too. So what we're going to be doing, let me go to the 4-2-2 real quick. What we're going to be doing in the very near future is getting Rui Costa is going to be going and Neymar is going to be the man coming in. So the way it's going to work is, I mean, I could put Luis Gustavo. Neymar wouldn't work here, would he? I can't use Luis Gustavo if I use Neymar. I can use Luis Gustavo if I don't use Neymar, because I can actually just start him here. So if I wanted Gustavo instead of Fernandinho, I could use Neymar instead of Rafael, but I want Rafael. Yeah, I can't. I have to keep Fernandinho if I want Neymar. And the reason why I want Neymar is because I want Rui Costa out. I'm going to throw Neymar in here. I don't know how I'll start the team. I'll figure out a way to start the team. I'm sure I'll be able to start it somehow or another with Neymar in there too. We've had it set up before perfectly. We'll probably have to go back to the 4-3-1-2 to get it. But Neymar's going to become my outside centre mid instead of... damn, where's the 4-2-3-1 gone? Here. So Neymar's going to become the outside cam instead of instead of Rui Costa. And that's going to give us De Bruyne and Neymar on the outside. And it's going to look like this. Basically like this. So De Bruyne on one side. I like him on the left-hand side because he cuts in a lot and scores a lot of goals. So De Bruyne on the left-hand side. Neymar on the right-hand side, and it's going to look great. It's going to play great. It's going to be great. If needs be, we can get rid of Raphael again and put Rui Costa back in for the links to everyone. But I'm thoroughly enjoying this Raphael card. I think it's very good. But guys, that is the team. As I say, we're 9-1 right now, which is great. I'd like to hope to think I could get through 25 to 30 games this weekend. I'm not playing this weekend either. I'm just doing other things through the days as well. I'm watching a bit of the FUT Champs this weekend league. I'm playing a bit of PUBG and stuff, so I'm just taking this weekend casually, and then next weekend we'll get straight back on the grind. I'll try and get 15 games Friday, 10 games Saturday, and 15 games Sunday. In terms of monthly, we're 1 win away from Gold 3. It'll be Gold 3 or Gold 2 that I finish this week. Probably Gold 2 if I'm being honest. But what's that? 7 more wins? Maybe only Gold 3. It depends how much I play. But guys, that's the team. That's where we're at. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.